All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rikakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. This lesson is titled The Plagues of Judgment. Alright? And if you don't already know, plagues is hitting the earth, the whole earth. Okay? June has been a month of plagues. All right, we had the earthquakes hit Venezuela, Japan, and California. Okay, all right, all in the same month. And then we have massive heat waves that are going across Europe, and now they're hitting the east. Okay, all right, it's happening in the east, the west coast as well, but it's hitting the east as well. All right, but in Europe, all right, people are dying in record numbers. We're looking at I think they said 1,400 people died of heat wave. All right, and it's due to them not believing in air conditioners. They think that it harms the environment. All right, you can be fined if you have an air conditioner. All right, over there in Europe, I think in where is it, in Paris or France? Yeah. Okay. So this is the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai working. Okay. All right. So let's go to Baruch 4 and verses 31. Baruch 4 and 31, and it reads, "Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall." And this is speaking of the children of Israel. All right, the Israelites. Okay, they rejoiced at thy fall. These Edomites, the so-called white man, they took us down. Okay, miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. All right, you see that? And that's what's happening right now. All right, so I got some videos I want to show you of exactly what's happening. All right. Okay.
Deadly flash flooding in Kentucky. The governor declaring a state of emergency.
We've already had at least one motorist swept away and killed by flash flooding.
12 state roads out of commission today due to flooding, and Bullitt County facing a potential dam failure, forcing people to evacuate. In western Nebraska, streets inundated.
Chris, I'm coming behind you. State police, okay?
And new video this week from New Mexico State Police.
Help me. Okay.
Rescuing a visibly exhausted man from flash flooding in Albuquerque.
I got you.
Tonight, deadly flash flooding in Kentucky. The governor declaring a...
900 people are dead and tens of thousands are still missing in Venezuela after following two massive earthquakes on. Over 900 people are dead and tens of thousands are still missing in Venezuela after following two massive earthquakes on Wednesday. Crews from the U.S. arriving in the devastated country yesterday to assist in relief efforts. Chanley Painter joins us now with the details. Good morning, Chanley.
Hey, good morning, Charlie. So far, hundreds of U.S. search and rescue specialists have been sent to Venezuela to help in recovery efforts after the back-to-back earthquakes Wednesday that have claimed the lives of at least 920 people. More than 3,300 others are injured and another 51,000 are missing. The Pentagon has sent transport planes, helicopters, and 2 ships, while Space Force is providing satellite imagery of devastated areas to relief planners.
We're helping Venezuela. They had a tremendous earthquake, a lot of people killed, and right in Caracas. And we have a lot of people over there helping.
Venezuela says there are also more than 860 volunteers from at least a dozen countries around the world that have arrived so far in an effort.
¡Marico! ¡Mi mamá, huevón! ¡Mi mamá! ¡Marico! ¡Marico! ¡Marico!
All right, so you've seen that series of videos there, right? All right, so it's pretty bad. Check this out.
Is hot. It is so hot here in France. It is hot. It is so hot here in France that it is hotter than 99% of the rest of the planet. And when it comes to per capita deaths because of the heat, it is Europe that leads the world. Now, there are many reasons for that, but a big one is that air conditioning is hard to come by. As the song goes, Paris in the summer, when it sizzles. Fans are flying off the shelves. Rationing here, only 1 per customer. And air conditioning? Did they sell out or they just... Oh, they sold out. Zachary Ullman, originally from Louisville, Kentucky, says the French are racing to adapt. Do they have a choice?
Oh, I don't think so.
This latest heat wave is exposing more than just bathing suits. Unlike much of the United States, air conditioning is the exception, not the rule. Here in France, only about 1 in 4 homes has it. European regulations in some ways discourage it. Many historic buildings don't allow you to install units to preserve cultural heritage. Though rare, you can be fined tens of thousands of dollars for breaking the law. In Geneva, you have to show a medical need. But taboos are being reconsidered like never before. Many here still remember Europe's catastrophic heat wave of 2003, when more than 70,000 people died after 16 days of relentless heat. Cooling centers, public alerts, and emergency plans are now activated much sooner.
Just over 1,000 heat-related deaths here in Spain
last month, according to government figures. That's the highest number for June since 2015. And many of those deaths are believed to have happened during the 5-day heat wave which struck the country, and during which we saw temperatures up into the low 40s Celsius or even the mid 40s Celsius in some cases. What was really unusual about that heat wave was the fact that we were seeing those kinds of temperatures so early in the summer, and also that we were seeing those temperatures in many cases not just down in the south of the country, which tends to be very hot in the summer, but also up in the north, in the Basque Country, for example. Now, the IMET National Weather Agency has reported that a number of records were broken last month, and it also said that last month was the second hottest June on record, second only to June of 2025. In addition, the weather agency said that since 1975, Spain has seen 12 heat waves in the month of June. Half of those have come in the last decade alone. It was just over
In Europe, there's a perfect storm. The oldest population on any continent that's warming the fastest. France's record heat last week is linked to roughly 1,000 deaths of mostly elderly.
Of all climate-related impacts and hazards, heat is the biggest killer.
European officials are calling for change, but not the kind that may seem obvious. Install air conditioning, especially for vulnerable people, and save lives. Why is that not a solution in Europe?
My honest response is I don't think that should be the solution anywhere. In the longer term, what happens is installing more air conditioning actually emits more heat into our environment, so it will actually increase the speed of warming.
It's also more expensive. Energy prices are much higher in Europe. Governments find other ways to cool historic and densely populated cities. In Rome, wearable technology is distributed to monitor the elderly, who are by far in the most danger. A recent survey in France said 1 in 6 people they surveyed said they'd rather suffer for the sake of the environment. Does that surprise you?
No, we're not doing this for us. We're doing this for the future generations.
Lee Canary, CBS News, London.
All right. So you've seen those series of videos, okay? It's pretty serious, okay? And it's the Lord bringing these judgments in. Let's go to Psalms 9:16 through 20 and prove that real quick. That's Psalms chapter 9 and 16. All right. And it reads, the Lord, and in capital letters, that's Yahweh, okay, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, is known by the judgment which he executeth. So it's the Lord that's making this happen. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands, Hegion Selah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and this is coming from I think it's King David. Yeah. The wicked shall be turned into hell in all the nations that forget the Most High, for the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. All right. Okay. So that's actually happening. This prayer is coming to pass. All right. The Lord is judging Europe. I mean, they're the ones who pretty much enslaved the world. Okay. These Edomites. All right. These Edomite nations. All right. All right, let's go to Ezekiel 12 and 22. Ezekiel 12 and 22. And it reads, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth. Tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. So all these prophecies are coming to pass all at once now. Okay? For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and will perform it, saith the Lord, Lord power. Okay? So the prophets have been prophesying, okay, on a regular basis, all right, letting you know that America and these nations are going to fall, and the Lord is manifesting these prophecies in real time. Okay. Matthew 24:7 and 8. Okay, Matthew 24:7 and 8. The disciples asked when would be the end of the world, or the end of the age, all right, of Esau ruling the earth. And this is what he said in verse 7 and 8. All right, Matthew 24:7 and 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. And that's what's coming upon the earth right now. Great sorrows. Okay. All right. Second Esdras 6:17 through 20. And it reads, all right, we'll start, let's see here. And we'll start at 18. Second Esdras 6 and 18. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion should be fulfilled. All right, so the Lord is visiting the earth. Okay, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And we can see the world vanishing away because Esau, Edom's, the currency is fading. Their grip upon the world, all right, as a superpower is falling. All right, the thick debt that America's in, I think $35 trillion in debt. So the world is finished. All right, this world of the world of Esau, Edom, these so-called white people. All right, okay. All right, so the Lord is visiting the earth, okay, with judgment. All right, that's what a lot of people don't even realize. Okay, Second Esdras 9:1 and 6, where this is repeated. Okay, Second Esdras 9:1 through 6, that he's going to visit the earth. All right, Second Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. All right, so we as spiritual watchmen, all right, we're keeping watch over what's happening in the world, and we're filtering them through the scriptures. That's what this means. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I told thee before. What did he say before? He said it in Matthew 24, and he said it in Luke 21. You know, what was going to happen before the end of this age. Okay, the age of the rulership of these Edomites, these so-called white people, Esau, Edom. All right. Verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world in which he made. You see that? See, it said earlier, the scripture that I read, that he would make inquisition. I think it was 6 and 18. All right. Second Ezra 6 and 18 on down. He would make inquisition. Here is saying the same thing. Verse 2. Second Ezra 9 and 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And what is he going to visit it with? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes. Okay, we had the earthquake. We had the earthquake again in Japan. Huge one in Venezuela and California, all in the same month of June. All right. It says, then Salakia, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right. So we've been forewarned that this will happen. All right. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So we're seeing the manifestation of the end of this rulership, this kingdom of Esau, Edom. All right, so-called white man. That's what we're literally seeing happen. And the Lord is bringing forth the judgments. Okay. All right, let's go to Isaiah 29 and 6. Again, how does he visit the earth? Isaiah 29 and 6. It says here, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The Lord is in capital letters, that's Yahweh. With thunder and earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and a flame of devouring fire. We've been seeing all of those. We've been seeing the thunder over there in Kentucky. I mean, man, it just almost make you want to get a boat. And we've seen this before. The Lord has been bringing these great storms, okay, over there in the Midwest, okay. The earthquakes, we just experienced that. All right, we had tornadoes. I think the brothers, speaking of that, Apostle Ricard over in Indiana said that like 3 tornadoes went through there. Okay. All right. So I think he was visiting Indiana. All right. So with storm and tempest and a flame of devouring fire, and we can't leave out the wildfires that are happening in the Midwest now. Okay. So the Lord is indeed visiting the earth in which he made. Okay. All right. And we can't leave out that we're in a drought, and these devils, so-called Edomites, the elite Edomites, right, that are ruling right now, they're destroying the earth, and they're going to make matters worse with these data centers. Okay. All right. So now we're in a fight for our life over water, because they feel it's more important to bring forth this new world order and try to be like the Most High. Okay. All right. By bringing this digital technocratic society. All right. Run by AI. They feel that's more important. All right. Than the lives of American citizens, so-called American citizens. All right. So they don't care. They're draining the water. Many of our lakes are running dry. Okay. Here in the U.S. Okay. So we have that problem. That's another plague. See, this video is the plagues of judgment. All right. You see that? See, they're going full steam ahead for the new world order. All right. And they're seizing hold of the water. All right. They're assing people. All right. They're literally on TikTok. I seen videos on investing in water. Okay. Okay. It's being traded as stock. Okay, so the Lord told us that it'll be like a time like no other, and it's saying if the elect isn't delivered, the elect of Israel isn't delivered out of this tribulation, the judgments and plagues that the Lord is sending by way of Esau, Edom on the left hand side of wickedness, then no flesh will be saved. We'll go ahead and get that, because they're taking away the water, they're poisoning our food. All right, we're eating fake food. All right, which is making us sick, literally killing us all. And that's who we have ruling the earth. Okay. All right, so here, let's go to Matthew chapter 24 and 21. And it reads, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved." You see that? And why is that? Because Esau, Edom is the one that's in power today, so-called white man. Their main agenda is to bring forth this new world order. They want to be like the Most High. Okay, that's why they're building these data centers. They want to amass this supercomputer mass surveillance systems, algorithms, all right, to track and trace everyone. They want to gather everyone together, all right, so that they can know everything about you, your biometrics. They're coming forth with the digital IDs here soon. They just passed the I think it's the Children's Act. Okay, I've learned. So it's all coming together. All right. So this heat wave, all right, is a part of the plagues, but the Lord is sending multiple plagues on the earth. Okay. All right. And he's using Esau, Edom to bring them forth. All right. So verse 22 and again, Matthew 24 and 22. "And except those days should be shortened," the Lord is shortening the days for the elect. Let's read it again. "Except those days should be shortened," Matthew 24 and 22, "there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." Okay? All right? So, we look forward to the kingdom of heaven. All right? All right? Where righteousness will dwell, because who we have ruling now, all right, is destroying the world. Okay, and the Lord is going to bring judgment to them. Let's go to Revelation 11. I think it's 11 and 18. Revelation 11 and verses 18. "And the nations were angry. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and the saints." You see that? The reward is going to the servants, prophets, and saints. You understand? And their families, of course. All right, all of them Israelites, not everyone in the world. If you're an Israelite, a believer, the Lord will show mercy. All right, on certain individuals. All right, and we pray that we're a part of that hopeful elect and a part of those saints and prophets and servants. Okay, you see that? "And them that fear thy name." Okay, let me go over that again, because it's important. "Thou shouldest give a reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them." This is the point. "Shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." Okay, so they're destroying the earth. Okay, by bringing forth this new world order, building these data centers. All right, seeking to be like the Most High, so they control everyone. All right, through this digital technology. All right, they got technology that they're going to be given to the police officers, where they can pretty much tap into your phone through Wi-Fi. All right, you understand, while you going down the road. All right, they have talked about this type of technology. They got the flock cameras, all right, okay, to be able to surveil you, all right, and that's what they want. They want to be like the Most High, because the Most High sees all things. They want to be like the angels. The Lord sees all things. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with here. Okay, it's only going to get worse in the earth. Okay, because the wicked is ruling the earth. Let's go to Proverbs 29:2, which brings this out. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right. So the righteous are not in power. It is the wicked. All right. All right. Beginning with the international banking families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Gettys, DuPonts. All right. These so-called high-level, elite, rich Edomites. They're the ones ruling the earth. Okay. Job 9:24. The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. All right. So let me go to here. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 6:17-20. All right, let's see here. 2nd Ezra 6:17-20. All right, I think I read that. I think it's 16:17. Yeah. 2nd Ezra 16:17. Salakia for that. It says, and this is Esdras, knowing that he would be regenerated during this time, and he would be a prophet. And it says, 2nd Ezra 16:17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, just like Yahweh Shai had mentioned, that this is the beginning of sorrows. Okay, when you see these earthquakes and famine, pestilence hit the earth, and wars, right? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So the Lord is scourging this place as scourges of amendment for the children of Israel, the elect of Israel. But they're not going to always be mindful. They're going to go back to their own wickedness. All right. Even though these plagues are hitting the earth left and right. Okay. Because the Lord said he would send these plagues in the earth. All right. So let's go to 2nd Ezra 15:1-6, where he said he would send these. He's the one in total control of man and their spirits. Okay. And he's the one who called for the judgments to be poured forth in the earth. 2nd Ezra 15:1-5. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. You know, all the unbelievers that come against us. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And this is the point, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Verse 6, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So this is what the Lord is doing. He's bringing forth these plagues in the earth, and they're increasing. They're beginning to increase in the earth. It's like a baby being born. All right, let's go to 2nd Ezra 16:37, where it brings this out. All right. This is what's happening in the earth right now. It says 2nd Ezra 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. All right, just like a child being born. Okay, verse 39, even so shall not the plagues to be slack that come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Okay, all right, you seen the video where the people in Europe are in sorrow. They're in a heat wave that they can't really even control because they don't even have any AC. All right, people are dying left and right. Okay, and that's what's coming here to America now. All right, as we speak. All right, July 1st is I think it was 104 today. Okay, where I'm at. Okay, so let's go here to Isaiah 29:2. All right. It says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake and great noise, storm, tempest, and flame of a devouring fire. So that's what the Lord is doing. He's bringing forth these judgments in the earth. So we have to repent, turn to the Lord. All right, because before it's too late, because these plagues are going to continue to increase. All right, and we need to ask the Lord to protect us during this time. Okay, these times of judgment. All right, let's go to Habakkuk 3 and verses 1. That sums that up. Habakkuk 3. Habakkuk 3 in verses 1 and 2. It's a prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon the Shiganah. Okay. Verse 2. O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. That's how we should be. We should be afraid. We heard his speech. We heard what he can do. And then we're literally seeing it in real time. It says, verse 2 again, O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid through the scriptures. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known in wrath, remember mercy. Okay, so the Lord's wrath is being poured forth, and we pray for his mercy. Okay, so with that I say, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakwadash, Shalom.